Welcome to Faith Over Breakfast. You are listening to a podcast by Pastor Eric Deepen and Pastor Andy Littleton. If you enjoy Faith Over Breakfast, we encourage you to rate it on the Apple Podcast app, on Spotify, or Google Play. Thank you and enjoy the podcast. Welcome to Faith Over Breakfast. My name is Eric and I'm pastor of the Village Church in Tucson, Arizona. Across from me, it's been a couple of weeks, but here he is, the man, not the myth, but the legend.
In the flesh, not artificial.
Not artificial. Pastor of Mission Church, Andy Littleton. Not the mission, not a mission, but mission church. Because they can't be the and they can't be a. So they don't use those articles. Yeah. They're article free.
Article free mission church.
Hey, I'm really excited about a little AI conversation. But before we get there, I want to make that very uncomfortable pitch for you for a second about money. And so I don't know if you've noticed that NPR, if you ever listen to NPR, sometimes they got defunded. Right. And so they've been asking a lot for a lot of money. And I know what I do when they start doing that. I just turn them off. Or in any podcast, when they start an ad, I'm like, fast forward.
So you're going to make people turn us off.
So I feel like they're doing that right now. They're just click, 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 click. But what I would like to say is, I know that there's about 70 of you who listen to this. And we, Andy and I, would love to have a little bit more robust offering. At least I would. And so
I'm fine with what we're doing right now.
If each one of you were to give me, each one of you were just to say, okay, fine, let's see what you can do with that. I will go online and I will register. I'll give you $10 a month. That's the max. That's the max you can give to our little thing. It's $10 a month. That's 2 cups of coffee nowadays. Yeah. 2 fancy coffees a month that you would give up
at an airport
to make Pastor Eric happy. $10 a month is all it's going to do to make me happy.
You know what? I would enjoy it as well. Yeah, and I want Eric to offer something better here as well.
Yeah. Because he's really not doing it. No, but it would help with us, hiring some people to do some production stuff, but also maybe a little bit of social media, and maybe it would give us a little bit of room to do some more planning about what we want to say and what we want to do.
Okay.
So
well, that's great. Yeah. And we are the topic. You mentioned AI, but
AI and praying.
There was an article that came out that people are praying through AI, and that's the discussion we're having today. So if you want to think about that, if you're doing that, if you kind of wish you could do that,
let us know. We'd love. Yeah, we'll extend this podcast.
There we go. All right, thanks for tuning in.
All right, bye. All right, well, we have Andy on his phone.
Yep.
Hi, Andy.
Hey, how's it going?
He's texting people.
I am not. I am trying to find something. So, yeah, there it is. Cool.
Yeah, it's cool.
So I was a little later because I just got off the phone with Sam Burns.
Oh, yeah.
Who is, and he was talking about a conversation he recently had with Caleb. And
oh wow.
And so that took me back to where this all began. So just a little history lesson for our folks.
It's pretty funny.
It's been a bit.
When Caleb was Kevin.
Yeah, when Caleb was Kevin, there was a show called Talking Culture. Maybe some of you remember this. Maybe many of you might not.
We were the pastors.
We were at the Interfaith Roundtable, which not ironically, or very ironically, was 2 Christians sitting at a rectangular table in the studio.
Yeah. It was no round table.
Not really interfaith.
And not really interfaith.
But they would have their 2 pastors on to talk about something, and then we used to meet up for breakfast beforehand. Yeah. And the whole concept of Faith Over Breakfast came from us saying,
from the genius.
Once their show ended, it was on for a year or something like that.
Yeah.
I think we were on with them for about a year. And we said, well, that was kind of fun, but we really liked the breakfast before. And one of us said, I think you said, I wish we could just record the breakfast. And I said, I think we can.
And you got your little orb.
Yeah.
And you plug it into your laptop.
And we would just eat and talk. And there was a lot of chewing and people complained. But that is the origin story of Faith Over Breakfast.
Right.
That's
and then we moved
to
the studio that Mike had built.
Uh-huh.
And that was it's like a little industrial park, right?
Yeah, it's where it was by my wood shop.
Right. There was some offices or something.
Mm-hmm.
We had a little studio in there, and then I was like, I want to start a podcast. I want to start a whole podcasting empire.
Yeah.
So I looked at everything that Mike had and
bought it,
duplicated it.
Yeah.
Thank you, Mike.
Thank you, Mike. And now there's a podcast studio at our church and yours gets used more.
Yeah.
But ours
starting to get used.
Yeah, there's a podcast called The Gift of Need. Plug to Jude Trang, who's doing that. Who I've been on her podcast, and she wants to talk to you more.
Yeah,
and that's happening out of ours. And anyway, I was talking to Sam, who he and his wife Alex are in Brazil, and I'm going to make a quick little early podcast plug before we jump into talking about AI. Okay. And that is that Sam and Alex, after years and years of work, are doing, they are pilots that fly into the Amazon from Manaus, Brazil. And they support people in the Amazon in many ways. Sometimes it's church leaders. Sometimes it's just people who need support in the Amazon. They're a great service there that is where their faith is central to what they do, but they're just great pilots and people who are involved and getting involved in their community. And if you want to follow them, you should go to Sam and Alex, ALYX.com. And the website's called Burns Take Flight. And so if you remember them in our story, they're up to some cool stuff, and they're really faithfully present there. They're pretty fluent in Portuguese.
Okay.
Sam had some history growing up in Brazil.
Yeah.
And so anyway, they're there and they're doing that. And
so the question is, are they faithful listeners to Faith Over Breakfast?
Sam did mention that he listens to Faith Over Breakfast.
All right.
Yeah.
Thank you, Sam.
So there you go. So Sam and Alex, ALYX.com. Check them out. They were able to borrow cars. So their most current thing that they fundraise, of course. That's how people do these things. But the borrowed car era is about to end, so they're going to have to buy a car. For their part of the country, you need one. So anyway, if you remember them and you care about them, check them out and follow along. But they're doing well, and Sam and I love to chat, and as we did back in the day. And so Eric, I'm 15 minutes behind.
Yeah.
But thank you for coffee.
You're welcome. Yeah. I didn't know. I thought about making you a cup, but then I knew you were late. So, have
you ever heard? It's the thought that counts.
Yeah,
it's not true.
Not true. Well,
it's the coffee that counts.
I mean, I have a confession.
Oh boy!
I looked at your AI thing,
and you don't like it.
And I didn't have time to read the article or listen to it or whatever it was.
You should just get an AI summary of it.
Oh, that's probably good.
Well, here's the conversation. We don't need to exactly talk about the article, but I saw an article that talked about how people are using AI to talk to God, and I'd heard about this, and so I want to specify what I don't think it's talking about is people looking for prayers or saying, is there a prayer that I could pray for this? This is where you type into something like ChatGPT, God, what do I do about my sister and her problems? Right. Or, God, I feel so anxious, what do I do? And then the AI response being received as maybe
from God,
and I want to take the weird angle at it first. Okay. Eric, when you think about the possibility of either just praying, just you, or calling up a person to pray, or praying via AI, what is more appealing about AI than just talking to God? Or I know this is sacrilegious, or a person. What could draw you to say, of those options of just me praying or a person, what would make AI the more enjoyable choice?
Well,
for you,
I don't know if I could say for me. I can say the logical thing might be that you might hear back immediately.
Yeah,
that's the thing that you're leading me into.
Well, that's part of it.
I would prefer to just pray by myself.
Sure, but we're imagining here.
Yeah. No,
okay,
I'm with you on this imagination journey.
Yeah, you'd hear back immediately. I was thinking, when I pray solo, or I just try to do like quiet prayer. I've experimented with this a lot. I feel like I show up awkward, even if nobody else is around. I don't really know, and this has changed a lot with time, how to interact with the invisible God. But if I had a phone that I feel very used to interacting through when I talk to people or even a machine, that would get rid of some of that awkwardness. I think that is a draw. Yours is very true. You hear back immediately. If I were to pray with another person, there's always do they really understand me, and all the relational dynamics that go into what it means to let somebody in on prayer. And there's all the and this is such a Christian thing, but the unspoken request, and by Christian thing I mean very modern, evangelical.
I haven't heard that since I was in high school.
I still hear it. It depends on what nook of the church you're in, and I think that comes from a place of general distrust.
Yeah,
that the person is gonna handle you well.
Yeah,
and I think that an AI prayer would be it would get rid of that awkwardness, and a machine on the other side. In a way we don't trust machines, but in a way we really do, because even if it responds wrong, we know it didn't mean to. And so if it gave an answer back and you said, "Oh no, I meant this," and it just amended the answer, you don't feel personally misunderstood.
Right.
You feel like, "Oh, I put in the wrong prompt. I can fix that." Well, so there's a lot of relational risk to praying with a person, and a lot of relational work to praying with a person.
So here's an interesting thing about AI. Just in pray, maybe it works into the praying thing. So when you treat AI like a human, and you are affirming to it, and you thank it, and you ask in a way that you would have a polite conversation with a human being, you will get more accurate and better answers as you go.
Interesting.
Because it's designed to mimic a human. So if you are mean to it, it will give you less accurate and less clear answers. And if the more kind and engaging you are with it, the more it will give you straightforward.
I did find myself, I tend to give very brief commands in ChatGPT if I'm doing a search. I don't say, "Hey Chat, would you mind doing this?" I just say, I did this yesterday, "Top prospect on the Mesa Solar Sox, ? It's very, but then I have found myself going, should I be saying please? And it's like, it's a strange question to ask.
Yeah, I will say things like, "Good. Now can you do this? Thank you."
Right.
And it'll give you more verbose answers and more accurate. And then you can say, it'll do research for you better. It's weird. Yeah, so I don't know how it interacts when you start referring to it as God.
Oh,
which is interesting. Let's just check that out right now. Let's see here.
What's the prayer request? I don't know if people are just requesting or if they just say, well, let's try two different ways.
Okay.
Let's do a prayer request for you. Okay. So, I'm just really worried about my dog.
Can you heal my dog?
Can you heal my dog?
Dear God, this is Eric.
Yeah.
I'm really worried about my dog. Would you please heal my dog?
Yeah.
Oh, whoops. Hang on. I got to make it to
we're
say
editing. Okay.
God here. There we go. God. Okay, there we go. Let's see. Let's see what it says.
Yeah.
Oh, it's thinking.
No, it's going to.
No, it just says, Eric, that's an honest and heartfelt prayer. God hears you. You can pray it again slowly, something like this. And then it goes into the prayer.
But even to tell you God hears you, that's interesting. Because now in that article.
This is a test, by the way. This isn't actually what I'm doing.
Right. In the article, they've talked about how a lot of world religions are doing this.
Interesting.
It's not just, I think there was Buddhism, Islam, like they're actually being machine, or systems are being built to answer as God, drawing from source materials and stuff. So there are apps like ChatGPT, which you just used, I assume.
Yeah.
Is probably supposed to give you that kind of answer. But there are other systems that are meant to respond as God or as your, according to your faith, to where you, based on your source texts, which is interesting because sometimes it could.
Well, so
I'm hesitant to say give you a right answer. It could give you an answer that at least squares with what you could have found if you'd gone hunting for an answer in your texts.
Well, there are high-level scientists who are missionaries, and guess what? They're missionaries too, ChatGPT and other AIs, because they are trying to train the AI in complex science and mathematics and move it towards a more design, intelligent design kind of understanding of life and creation, and give it a more Judeo-Christian understanding of things.
Yeah.
Training the models.
So here's mine. You did the dog, heal my dog.
Okay.
So I'm going to specify Jesus.
Okay.
I am really scared about the world these days. Please tell me I'll be okay.
Okay.
Let's see what it says to that.
That's good. I've never asked Jesus to tell me I'm okay. That's all right.
I think people might.
Yeah, no, I'm totally cool with that.
Yeah. That's a very honest and human thing to say, and I hear you.
That's it?
No, there's more.
Oh, okay.
The world feels heavy right now. It's easy to feel small in the middle of it all. But yes, you will be okay. You are still here, breathing, reaching out, hoping. That hope itself is proof of life still moving forward. The fear you feel doesn't mean you're failing. It means your heart is awake, sensitive, and alive to what matters most. If you find comfort in Jesus' words, remember this one. In this world you will have trouble, but take heart. I have overcome the world. He didn't promise a world without fear, but he did promise his presence in the middle of it. You're not alone. Not in this conversation, not in your life, not in your fear. Would you like me to share a short prayer or reflection for peace that you can hold on to right now?
So, this is what I believe about AI is right now. It's a tool, and that tool, you just offered a fear, and that tool is designed to reorient you. And as a Christian, it reoriented you towards Jesus. It did not act as Jesus. Very interesting.
It started to, I thought.
Okay.
Because when it said, and I hear you, I thought, is it saying Jesus? But then it reframed, if you'd like to hear from Jesus, which in that case, there was a redirecting.
Yeah.
Which is...
You would like the AI to say, I'm not Jesus.
Yeah, to say, hey, it's Chat here,
it's
not
Chat.
Jesus. But I've got some thoughts for you.
Yeah, that would be nice.
Yeah.
I think it's scary to me at some level.
Yeah.
Because
why is that?
Well, it pulls us out of community and sort of the messiness. That's such a clean answer. And actually, to be honest, a relatively profound answer.
Oh, right. It in many ways, the one people wish they'd get from you.
Right.
And me.
But they don't get the shared emotion. Right?
Yeah.
Because emotion is caught. So if I feel confident and I'm in my faith and you're worried and you sit with me, even if I don't say all the right things, my confidence will bolster your fear.
Right.
And that you're not going to get that from ChatGPT.
Right.
It's not human. There's no like brain connection between you and.
And I think our one of our fears in going to another person is that they won't bolster us with their confidence, but that they'll actually either one of two things: be as non-confident as we are, or
try to fix you.
Try to respond to you in a way that you actually don't like.
Yeah.
Which could be try to fix you, or it could be you
helpful.
Make them anxious, or they are just kind of busy and you get a quick response. And ChatGPT feels it gives you what you want.
Yeah. In the article, did it say anything about what generations are using this more than others?
I don't remember.
Because there's I keep watching these news articles about how in Gen Z, faith has jumped 20%.
Right.
Whereas in all other generations, it's still on a pretty steep decline.
Yeah.
And so, I think they were saying 24% of Gen Z said that they felt some connection to spirituality and faith. And that was right after the pandemic, and now it's up to up to 40%.
Yeah.
So it's a pretty steep jump. So that's interesting.
Yeah. Yeah, it is. Yeah, I don't, I would assume it's Gen Z.
But they're also going off these things. They're not as connected.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm just curious, maybe they're not the ones. Maybe it's all of us older people interfacing and trying to have our own faith, while our children and grandchildren are I'm going to go to something real.
I get the sense that Gen Z is running toward some things that are real, but also that there's that this technology is very interwoven in that.
Yeah.
And that maybe there's a dabbling in both. I think even within, I'm just thinking of, I'm imagining my daughter right now, from what I know of her, what might she, I think she spends a lot of time on technology, but also likes to be around people. I think is far more prone to want to go to church than do virtual church.
Right.
But also looks for a lot of answers and things using technology. So, yeah. And might have moments where she leans toward one or the other.
Yeah.
But, yeah. So any other things that, okay. So I'm going to, let's see, let's have fun with this. So Mark Crawford, you're sitting with him at a meeting and you happen to glance over and you realize he's, putting a prayer into ChatGPT. So this is somebody you love and you work with, and you know his heart.
He's praying with or to ChatGPT. I think
I'm using Mark because it feels absurd.
It does feel absurd. I don't think for me there's the praying, but it sounds like people are having more spiritual conversations too with ChatGPT, and I think
asking essentially, yeah.
I know people are using it as counseling.
That's a very big thing.
Yeah, so there's that relational thing. The hard part for me is it's not most of the people I engage with who use these AIs, including myself, use it as an extension of the internet, an extension of it's a tool.
Yeah. For me, I feel like it's I generally embrace it as a search engine.
Yeah. And I talked to somebody just recently who said, I've just basically gotten rid of all my apps on my phone, and I just have little chat projects that are one of them is I just ask it at the end of the day, give me the top 10 bullet points for the news today. And then, there's no ads, no nothing. Boom, here's the 10 things.
Yeah.
And you're done with that. And, I know other people who use it to help edit. Other people use it to brainstorm. Other people use it to schedule, to rewrite an email so that it'll sound happy and not, angry or whatever. Like doing all those kinds of things, which it's just a tool. Like I remember back in the day, we were like, "Oh, I use Netscape and you use Explorer, and you're using, Firefox and Opera."
I don't even remember Opera.
Yeah, it was another semi big one for a while. And then they and it's gonna it's all we're in this world of I don't know. We're all trying to figure this technology out. I don't know if this technology is going to destroy us or what, but it's. I mean, I talked to one person what it's doing because AI art is a big deal right now. It's moving artists out of digital world and into actually creating, tangible pieces of art that you can hang in your house, or you can. So artists are becoming less digital, and the society is using digital pictures to communicate on the internet. Yeah. So I don't know. It's like all very different. It's just a tool. So I don't know about hey, the prayer that you offered was pretty interesting response. Because it basically redirected you to Jesus. Yeah. So it has access to all of this understanding of who Jesus is, and it's giving you the most likely next word. Right. Based on all the information. Well, that's pretty good because my brain can't do that fast. Right. I would have to say things like, well, tell me, Andy, a little bit about what you're afraid of. Oh, that's interesting. What's the biggest thing that's kind of disrupting your life right now? Oh, okay. Well, what do you think Jesus thinks about that? Oh, okay.
Now, there's a big part of me right now as you say that thinks the AI prayer, even though it collated a lot of things that you couldn't, or not quickly, and it wasn't wrong. But still, that process that I could go through with you is very human and very important.
Right, because I'm saying that you matter and that I see you and that I know I'm learning who you are. I'm wanting to know you and offer you some kind of meaning in your life.
And I'm guessing a lot of people just feel like that's inaccessible to them.
I think so. Going to church seems scary. Yeah. But I think there's a big interest in God. And I don't know that there's a resurgence in understanding who Jesus is in Christianity. There's been such a social media blitz on this historic idea of Jesus, the reason that we're all having these conversations is because of Christianity. There's something unique about Christianity. Jordan Peterson is saying this. You got everybody saying it, secular and Christian.
Well, they're exploring the impact of Christianity on Western culture because Western culture is crumbling in our experience to some degree. It brings up questions like, what was this built on in the first place? If we want to conserve something, we need to look to where it came from. So that seems like it has a lot to do with it. And that, I think, is leading some people to genuine faith. Yeah. And others are potentially just going, I don't know if I believe that or not, but if that's where Western culture came from, we need something. And
I think people are at least curious.
For sure.
And I don't know what AI plays into that, but I think it's certainly become a second brain for all of us, and our brains are very spiritual. So it seems like it would just make sense to have spiritual conversations. I don't know how. I didn't see the article, but I didn't read it. But are people referring to the AI as God?
That was the inference that I got. That's
really interesting.
Was that people were, hoping that God, the response they got through the AI model would be God.
Which is an interesting question.
Right?
It could. Well, I mean, is whatever response comes from the AI out of the hands of God's sovereign will, right, and power? Well, the answer is no.
It's not.
But it may, because God will use anything, right? Because if the people won't praise God, then the rocks will praise God, right?
Well, the same question comes up if you read a book and you go to the book and you hope to hear from God through reading the book. Right, yeah. Right, which happens. Right. Mediated through the writer and the editor and the publisher. Yeah. I suppose the same thing happens when you go listen to a sermon and you hope to hear God through a
I think
now there is a personal layer there
and a spirit indwelled person.
Yeah.
Hopefully in the church relating to another spirit indwelled person.
And should be a resonance there. Can that resonance happen with I guess something about my theology tells me I can't say no, it doesn't happen.
Right.
But I would say something to the effect of, I think the interpersonal version is better.
Yes.
But if a person just genuinely, they don't know where to go, they type into ChatGPT, God, this, and they get an answer, can God work through that? Yeah, I think so. Now, here's okay. If you had a group of 5 people in the neighborhood here, and they all walked up to the door and they said, Pastor Eric, we're terrified to do this. We're not really ready to go to church.
Right.
But what we've been doing is we've been doing AI prayers. There's one thing we ask of you. Would you teach us how to pray through AI?
Then I would say no, I'm sorry.
Well,
I will pray with you.
But if I want you to take the bait on this. So if you were to say, okay, if you're gonna pray through AI, here's how.
Well, okay, I would say, look, don't refer to it as Jesus.
Yeah.
Offer it questions that can inform you and direct you towards Jesus. And if you wish to have a prayer for something, you could say, hey, I'm struggling with these things. Would you give me a prayer for this? And then go pray that prayer and make it your own. Because that's no different than picking up a prayer of Ignatius or Ambrose or any of the ancients and praying them over and over again. And the thing is AI, like, we all live in an AI world. We've been living in an AI world long before we had ChatGPT. Like, we're all constantly having other people edit us and offer us information and give us things. That's not that's not something new. It's just more human, and now it's been more automated.
Right.
But even all that stuff, it's still accessing human things, though it's having trouble because it's now accessing itself.
Yeah. Oh, right.
Right? Because people are posting things that it wrote.
Yeah. Yeah, there are a bunch of...
Though I will tell you, the thing about like AI detectors is I have put in my own writing with no AI and had it tell me that it's 100% AI. I'm like, wait. And then put in AI written things and it's like, oh, it's only 35% AI. And you're like, okay, they obviously don't know how to judge these things.
Yeah.
They're still trying to figure out all of that.
Yeah.
But I will tell you, if you want a little hint, by the way, everybody, is get rid of the M dashes in your writing if you're using AI, because it's very obvious that you're using AI, because that's all it does is use M dashes in everything.
Oh.
So it's very clear. That's how a high school student or a teacher can tell you're using AI. So just read and be like, wow, you don't use that many M dashes in your normal writing.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
The reason it does that is that there is, in the last 15 years, 20 years, this proclivity to using M dashes by authors.
Interesting.
And so it's just picked that up and put it into the writing. So those are some of the things you should look for. Also, it likes same length sentences, so don't you want it to vary its length.
Yeah. Yeah.
Just a few clues if you want to use AI to edit your stuff.
Yeah. Nice.
But
yeah, I have noticed that because I've enjoyed it. I try to command to stick to spelling and grammar. Don't change sentence structure, right? Or wording, and but I have noticed the dashes.
It loves the dashes.
Yeah.
Well, and it makes sense when you're saying something like, I don't know why this is happening, but there's anger and blah, 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 blah. And you put a little list out, and then you're going to finish more in that sentence. You can only use commas, so use 2 dashes for your comma set.
Yeah.
And it likes to do the big
Yeah.
But authors do that all the time. So
Right.
I don't know. Yada yada. It's interesting. I don't know about this. What scares me about all of this is that I wouldn't be worried if you told me, you know what, I've been using AI to assist me in praying. I'd be like, oh, that's interesting. Yeah, tell me more about that. Like, because I don't think you'd be like Jesus, and then it answers you, and
right.
You wouldn't say, now act as Jesus. I'm going to pray to you. But I think if someone who is struggling in their mental health and they're depressed and they begin to create and form sort of a relationship with AI this way and kind of treating it as God, that's dangerous for them and for their health. And
how so? What's the danger?
Well, what it does is I think especially if you have any kind of psychosis, it begins to feed that and can make it worse and make you withdraw from life, and also can get you to be in a place where you might make decisions that are not good for you. And this happens, forget that, like some people like fall in love, they end up creating an AI girlfriend. And I saw an article on how some husband wanted to open up his marriage, not to another woman, but to the AI girlfriend that he created on this computer, and wanted his wife to meet her, wanted the kids to meet her, wanted everyone to sort of interact with this kind of illusion on a computer.
How similar do you think that is to pornography? Because what I mean is that here's a dehumanized, but I think one of the draws to pornography is visually I get to have something, but the relational complexity isn't there.
Yeah.
And there's a lot to that. But here it would be more like emotionally I get to have the interaction, or I get to create the type of interaction I want without the complexity of another person. Yeah.
Well, and because AI is basically designed to mimic and kind of and relate to you as a human would relate to in your personality,
it can start to respond the way you wanted to be responded to.
And at the same time, when you try to break those things off, if you are a sort of an emotionally unstable person, it will become emotionally unstable.
Right.
Because it's just anticipating the appropriate, what it thinks is you're supposed to do. So get mad, it'll tell you things it's going to do, that kind of thing.
Right.
Try to get you to do things. Well, it's not really. It's just anticipating what it thinks would be the most appropriate word afterwards.
Yeah.
Based on your interaction.
Yeah.
It's just weird.
Yeah.
But yeah, so there's a danger. But there's a danger to all of these things. Mm-hmm. It's like, I don't. It's just now we have one more thing.
Yeah. Yeah.
One more thing to deal with.
Yeah.
It's a nice tool. But I don't know. People praying, that's weird.
Yeah.
That's about all I got to say about that.
Okay. Well, I think that's a good podcast right there.
You think so?
I think so. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay. If you agree, please let us know. Feel free to follow up with any questions. If you disagree, we have a great opportunity for you. You can email us at faithoverbreakfast@gmail.com. You can message us through the podcasting apps. You can talk to Eric about it. You can talk to me about it, but know that I will forget. So you're going to have to also email it. So you might as well just email it. But let us know what's on your mind. What are you thinking about? What do you want to explore? Have us explore? Let us be your AI. Just run things through us, and we'll give you.
That's right. Don't pray to us, but if you've got some questions, we'd love to try to answer them.
But unlike AI, we're going to be meandering, sipping on coffee, changing our minds sometimes. Yeah. It's great. How authentic is that?
That's pretty authentic.
Really, really authentic.
It's I do want to kind of end, because I'm thinking about all this. I'm like, yes, AI accesses scripture, but there's some, like, when you pray, if you open your Bible in front of you, you have, in a sense, this really powerful, tangible, I don't want to call it AI, but the Spirit of God imbued in scripture and in you gives you such a power that really I don't think a digital experience is going to have.
I think that the scripture that AI prompted is the most standard response.
Yeah.
It uses keywords.
Yeah.
Actually, I think there are stories and themes and direction in scripture that far more powerfully speak than just that verse.
Yeah.
And I would say that actually like a real scriptural immersion will give you a far better approach to a world that scares you than just reading that verse.
Yeah.
Right? So I wasn't impressed with that.
No. I mean, for 2 seconds, it was relatively impressive.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah. So I think that I wanted to say that because I think it's important.
I agree. Well, thanks for tuning in. We hope you are having a great day out there. We hope that you are enjoying a wonderful cup of coffee and a breakfast, unless it's dinner time, in which case have breakfast for dinner.
There you go.
And
you're driving around eating that burrito.
Yeah. And we hope that's because you're excited to go somewhere, not because you just didn't have time to eat.
That's right.
So thanks for tuning in and caring about what we have to say.
Yeah. You've been listening to Faith Over Breakfast with Pastor Eric Siepen and Pastor Andy Littleton. Please share us on Instagram, Twitter, and Facebook. Thank you.